is an English edition of Dalsan TV. My name is Abdulrazak Ali, and let's take a look at some of the stories that are making headlines here in Somalia. Al-Shabaab militants killed in heavy fighting in Hiran region. Massive wildfire in Puntland extinguished, officials say. Somalia urges restraint amid escalating Middle East tensions. Now, welcome back. At least 5 Al-Shabaab militants have been killed in heavy fighting between the Somali National Army, supported by local forces, and the militant group on the road between Bulamburte and Halgan districts in the Hiran region on Sunday evening. Our reporter has more on this.
At least 5 Al-Shabaab militants were killed in heavy fighting between Somali army forces, supported by local forces, and the militants on the road between Bulebat and Halgon districts in the Iron region on Sunday. Advertisements. At least 5 Al-Shabaab militants were killed in heavy fighting between Somali army forces, supported by local forces, and the militants on the road between Bulebat and Halgon districts in the Iron region on Sunday. Advertisements. The fighting lasted almost 2 hours. Officials added the confrontation comes a day after Somali army forces, aided by international partners, eliminated several Al-Shabaab militants in an airstrike near the Bulebat district of the Hiran region. The drones targeted group members gathered in the Gisebo area.
A massive wildfire that ravaged Dalsan Valley in Somalia's Puntland state has been successfully extinguished, according to the Dangarayo Deputy District Commissioner Abdul Nur Haji Ahmed, who confirmed the incident.
A massive wildfire that ravaged Dalsan Valley in Somalia's Puntland state on Sunday has been successfully extinguished. Dangarayo Deputy District Commissioner Abdul Nur Haji Ahmed has confirmed. The inferno, believed to have been triggered by extreme heat exacerbated by climate change, resulted in the displacement of families living in the area. Officials say the fire, which initially broke out in the Nugal region, rapidly spread due to the dry conditions which were fueling the flames and engulfing vast swaths of grassy land. Puntland authorities mobilized efforts to combat the blaze, eventually succeeding in containing and extinguishing it after causing significant damage to forests and grasslands in the area. The fire underscores the danger posed by climate change and has prompted Puntland officials to form a committee to investigate the cause of the fire and to put in place measures to avert such occurrences in the future, particularly near forests and mountains, and to safeguard the livelihoods of residents.
Now, the Federal Republic of Somalia has issued a plea for restraint as tensions between escalate in the Middle East, according to a government statement released on April 14th, 2024. The Somali government expressed deep concern over the recent hostilities which threaten both regional stability and global peace. The Federal Republic of Somalia has issued a plea to restrain as tensions escalate in the Middle East. According to a government statement released on April 14, 2024, the Somali government expressed deep concern over the recent hostilities which threaten both regional stability and global peace. This call for calm follows Iran's unprecedented drone and missile attack on Israeli territory, making a direct military conflict between the two nations and heightening fear of broader regional war. In its statement, Somalia urgently called for an end to Israeli military actions in Gaza and promoted a resolution based on the two-state solution, reiterating its support for the Palestinian right to self-determination and justice. The Somali government urged the international community to swiftly intervene to de-escalate tensions and prevent further conflict that threaten not only regional stability but also global peace and security. Global leaders and international organizations echoed Somalia's sentiments. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, addressing a Security Council meeting convened in response to the strikes, emphasized the critical need to defuse and de-escalate the dangerous situation. Amid these developments, the U.S. has clarified its stance, with President Joe Biden informing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the U.S. will not join any potential Israeli counter-offensive against Iran. This decision highlights a cautious U.S. approach aimed at avoiding further escalation. Analysts Note that the international strategy seems focused on stabilizing the region through diplomacy rather than military action, supporting Israel's defense while urging diplomatic resolutions. Now, oil prices is continuing to drop this morning with Brent crude down 1% at 89.52 US dollars per barrel.
Oil prices fell on Monday. Markets dialed back risk premiums following Iran's weekend attack on Israel. One analyst told Reuters that the limited scale of the assault raised hopes that it wouldn't spark major escalation. International benchmark Brent crude fell over 1% to under $90 a barrel by mid-morning in Europe. Benchmark US oil futures saw similar declines. Iran's action involved more than 300 missiles and drones and was the first attack on Israel from another country in more than 3 decades. But the attack caused only modest damage, with missiles shot down by Israel's Iron Dome defense system. Even so, it raised concerns about a wider regional conflict affecting oil traffic through the Middle East. Iran said it was retaliation for an airstrike on its Damascus consulate. Israel has neither confirmed or denied it struck the facility. One leading analyst said there is now plenty of uncertainty, and oil prices could be further impacted by how Israel responds. Iran currently produces over 3 million barrels per day of crude oil and is a major player within OPEC. Analysts said supply risks included more strictly enforced oil sanctions. They added an Israeli response could involve targeting Iran's energy infrastructure. Oil benchmarks had risen on Friday in anticipation of Iran's attack and reached their highest level since October. Analysts were widely expecting at least a short-lived rally in prices this morning. However, they said a major long-term impact would only come if there was evidence of a material impact on oil supplies.
Now that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Till we meet again, have a lovely evening.